It's finally time to start firing up the grill. From city to shore, Acme is everything you need to prep for this summer season. Download the Acme app to shop for this season's essentials any way you want. Open the Acme app, clip your deals, then order your items online. An experienced Acme associate will carefully select your groceries, bag your order, and bring it right to your car or deliver right to your door. Download the app or visit acmemarkets.com for program details.
Hi there, I am Adam Kirbas, and this is my 7th episode of my short story, Wednesday. She took my hand, and I followed her into her home, into the unknown, into a world which I hadn't even dreamed about before. Her family was inside. It was only her mother. I didn't saw anyone else. Her mother was standing there. She just watched at me, eyes. They were just eyeing anybody. I walked through the hallway, my tread heavy. The home was scarcely furnished. Only the necessity people who did not fancy any romance with interior, with furniture. People who do not assign any hopes to a beautiful appearance, people just for a use, just for a purpose. This is how the home was furnished. Every piece of it would not match. Every piece of it randomly selected and would not match, neither in color, shape. It was just put there for the bare purpose, to be useful, to be supportive. A life has to be maintained here, or just the waiting room for later. Who knows? But there was this muteness again, this uncomfortable muteness. And stares, eyes, they were stares. They would just stare, embarrassing, mortified partially, but they would just stare. I saw in the window, in front of the window, a chair placed there, like someone would be sitting there and just waiting and watching the world outside. Just staring into the world, just watching people passing by. I immediately knew what this meant. I immediately understood what this was about. Rosa was still holding my hand. My heart was still throbbing. This was socially awkward. I didn't know what to expect. It felt my hormones were overflowing, and I had an erection. I felt uncomfortable. With one hand, I tried to cover my pants, my crouch. I didn't want to see her, that I was thrilled. My penis was pressing against my pants, my trousers. I felt like exploding. It felt really awkward. I wanted to sit down and just hide my awkwardness. I didn't want them to see me as a freak, as a weirdo, as someone who gets erected by the slight touch of someone who was craving human touch for this long. I didn't even know that. I didn't even imagine that. And here it was. This beautiful woman was touching me, and I had an erection, and I felt it. I felt it too late. Maybe she saw me. Maybe I had an erection all along. I followed this beautiful creature. I didn't want her to see me. And there I was, awkward, shaking. And I just stared around. I was embarrassed. I did not think further. And finally, I could seat myself. I threw myself on the sofa. I was mortified, maybe. I didn't know anything about women. I didn't know what it meant to be close to someone, what to hold someone, what to reveal someone. What did I think about following her? And now here I am. I felt stupid. I felt that they could any moment start mocking me, start mocking the person, this stupid boy I was, who had no experience, who didn't live, who didn't know anything, and they would immediately figure out that I was just a stupid man, a stupid boy, someone who has been dreaming for so long about nothing. I sat down, I threw myself, and what if they would ask me to leave, just for what? Uncomfortably, I sat down. We would still stare at each other. The entire room felt mute. We would pass on glances at each other. I didn't dare to look straight at anybody. How could I? It felt still awkward, weird. How did I came here? I didn't even recognize it. Was like I would wake up right at this very moment. I did not think that I would end up here in this journey, part of a journey. I woke up in my bed today, at that day. I woke up in my bed. I did not fall. I didn't think that my life would change in any way. I thought all these dreams, all these hopes, in the end of the day, it would still be the same. Nothing would change. And now here I am in a different home. There I was, speechless, nothing. Speechless and an erection. I tried to cover because this beautiful woman, this gorgeous woman had again swooned me. Had again messed with my mind. I just sat there awkwardly, hoping that they would not ask this stranger, this nobody, to leave because of this awkward silence. And I was about to say something. I wanted to say something, to break the silence, to break the ice, to just say something. So that all seemed to be easy, all seemed to be appearable. But I could not think of anything. What do you want to say there? Hi. Well, we met already. Hi would not be sufficient. I glanced at her. I eyed her rather fleetingly. They expected me to say something, anything, a word, a sentence, a phrase. Maybe I should have said that I came just along. I just wanted to pass somewhere. But where was my goal? Where was my destiny? Where was I heading? What if they asked me about it? Why? This is part of the conversation, part of small talk. People ask that. Wanna be nice. But I didn't know what to say, and I was still deafened. But my heart throbs, and right there, she stares at me. And I am trapped by these beautiful eyes. They again trapped me, and I could not stare away. I could not look away. They again towed me inside her. These beautiful eyes. They were just laying a smooth aura around her face. They were just gleaming. And she looked at me in confidence, but intermingled with sadness. Her eyes, the rims of them almost seemed to be tearful thoughts. And I think for the first time I saw that thoughts over the years have seared themselves onto her skin, onto her face. It wasn't visible outside. It wasn't visible outside in that world for me. I didn't see it in the daily life, in the mundane life everyone was living. I didn't saw all the layers of years which has been covering those eyes, have been covering those beautiful eyes. This tiresome. They looked beautiful, but they looked tired as well, as if someone became exhausted just from watching the world, as if someone would stare into their daily world almost unbearably, as if you don't find anything better than just watch how the life passes by you, how day by day you just lose yourself because you stay at the same spot. You cannot change your world. You cannot just escape. And for the first time, I maybe in retrospect thought about their prospect, because some people, they are held back by more than one thought, more than one agonizing fear. Maybe they held by more than by one plan. Maybe it was more than fear that would keep people back away, just to walk away. But where? I again glanced at the chair. She still was looking at me. She was expecting probably something to say to me, but I didn't know. I just watched it plainly. I just was distracted. I acted that I would be distracted. I acted like I was still recovering from this impression. I acted like I was still searching the room. My eyes were still roaming this room, adjusting to this situation, to this account. But she kept still staring at me. These beautiful eyes, they did not let go of me. They captivated me. I was forced to look back. I was forced to look in these beautiful eyes. I could not look away anymore. Do you want to drink something? That's all what she asked me. Do you want to drink something? And her voice was fearful, like I could reject it, like I could just stand up and walk away. She was fearful. And her lips, the movement of it up and down, it was hypnotizing, it was mesmerizing, it was captivating, it was gleaming. And in that very moment, I wanted to soothe her, swipe away her care, her sadness, just for a moment, just hold again this height. In that very moment, I felt again the distance. She had let go of my hand. Maybe she noticed my awkwardness. Maybe she saw that that I had an erection, that I was an awkward in social interactions, that I did not know better, that I was just a stupid someone. Maybe she had a different opinion, a different thought of me when she saw me outside, and that's why she invited me. That's why she held my hand and just dragged me inside. Maybe she thought of me differently. Maybe she took me for someone else, and now she woke up. Now she distanced herself from me. She detached herself from me, her emotional investment and hopes she put in my hand. Maybe she was hoping for something I could not read in these beautiful eyes, maybe, which was hiding on those eye rims and this beautiful, tearful sadness. Maybe there was written a code, a word, a story, a history, anything I could not grasp, and I was lost because I did not know what to answer. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. Hold her, soothe her. And I wanted just to hold this beautiful face, these beautiful eyes, swipe over here and just kiss her. Just say to her, it is fine, it is okay. But I was awkward. I understood that I was awkward because I didn't know. And she just asked me, do you want to drink something? And the only thing I could say was yes, with a shaking voice, yes to everything she offered, yes to a deep desire. Yes, to this new awkward moment. Yes, to everything. Yes, to these beautiful eyes, which now seem to start making sense of it all. Maybe it was awkward for her too. And she got up. She moved through the room as if it was the normal thing to do. Her mother was at distance. She was eyeing and glancing me occasionally. She would watch her daughter, then glance at me like she needed an escape because she didn't know where to put her eyes to, because she still felt embarrassed. She wouldn't know where to watch. She would glance at her daughter while she would fill me a glass of tap water. And again, this muteness, this deafening muteness, this unbearable muteness. And again, I was lost in these thoughts, and my mind was in disarray. What next? What should I say next? I didn't know what to talk about. I was still trapped with hi, how are you? But we have passed the how are you. I assumed this is not the place of how are you anymore. I felt relieved, partially relieved, because I had still an erection and my erection would not abate. I was thrilled. I was excited by this newness. But I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. But I would get the chance to get myself together, to at least appear not as a freak, as someone normal, as someone who does this every day. Well, no matter what it means, does it every day, like being invited to other homes. I felt that this was awkward and I should not mention it. And she came back carrying water, carrying the glass of water, and she looked at me, embarrassed, and sat there, gave my water. The only thing I could say was, thank you. This is the only thing I could brought forward, the only words which some thought, in a way, escaped my mouth, the only way. Nothing else, just a thank you, and silence again. Both mother and daughter exchanged looks. And then she eyed me again. She stared at me, and this time I needed to say something. I stammered something. I stammered. I started with, I saw you in the supermarket. She didn't respond. She just watched at me. She just started nodding. I think we went to school together. She became thoughtful. She was distressed, like I said, something awful. We went to school together. This was hurtful to her. She bent forward. She was thoughtful and even sad. I glanced at her mother. I tried to figure out, what did I say wrong? Was there anything? Her mother was still embarrassed. She tried to distract her. But occasionally she would glance at her daughter, would perceive her sadness. And I think I noticed a sigh from her, a sigh, a disappointment, a life that hadn't turned out the way they wanted. School, bad memories, what could it mean? I didn't know. I couldn't even properly remember how Rosa was in school. She was this normal woman. She was this normal girl. I did not remember. And now this grown-up woman becomes thoughtful, becomes even sad when mentioned that we went to school together. In my youth, I was mostly concerned with myself. I did not think about other people. I did not care about them at all. I occasionally saw them. I occasionally thought about other people. I was living in my own world. All this time, all my youth, I felt like I was in a slumber, like I slept all these years, through all these years, and right now I woke up and saw a reason, something, being. I woke up to see the beauty of life, and it struck me at first. I didn't know how to make conversation, and this proved it. She was fat. Rosa was thoughtful, sad. I asked her, everything okay? And she just looked up, glanced at me. I'm fine. But it was filled with sorrow, every syllable, with pain, as if someone would try force himself through pain, stifle her anguish, her sadness, her sorrow. There was so much sorrow in this I'm fine, like an echo from her heart, which then permeates every aspect of the room, which permeates the entire space, fills it with sorrow and sadness, and one is left behind to think about what might have hurt you, what might have destroyed your hopes, your wills, your belief in the future. And I imagine we all had plans in our youth. We all thought about somewhere to go. We all thought that one day we would be happy. No one thought about being miserable. At least I didn't think about it. At least I cannot remember that I would ever have thought about my life as ending up miserable, as ending up in a dead end, like I would have no way to go. I cannot imagine that someone thought about his life being miserable, being ending, leading to nowhere. But again, this was my life. This was how I saw the world. What did I know about other people? I was still this stupid boy who wanted to be a superhero, but who didn't even know why. Maybe to escape. But where, from what? Deafening muteness again. There was it again, this haunting muteness, this vexing, annoying muteness. I could not understand her. I could not fathom this fine. I'm fine. What does this even mean? I'm fine. Uttered in deep sorrow. Uttered with so much pain. What does it even mean? I'm fine. Said in so much anguish. I'm fine, and it has put dust on all the furniture and all the interior of this room, of that room. I'm fine. The world is fine. The chair in front of the window is fine. I'm just watching. Time passes by. I'm fine. Said with so much sorrow, I'm fine. And the world should make sense of it. I was mad about me because I did not fathom these moments. I did not know what people meant by it. What can you respond and reply to I'm fine? Said with sorrow. Changed the topic. We were not even talking about anything than small talk about superficial themes, not even about us, just about the day, how we pass time, trying to find explanations for our behavior, for our embarrassment, for our discomfort. It is fine. It does not appear like it is. It is fine, even though I'm stifling tears. My tears, no, it is all fine. My life is fine. And their muteness, thereafter always is muteness, deafening muteness. People are all thoughtful after I'm being fine. Thoughtful. And haunting eyes, and they again, mother and daughter were glancing at each other again. Some secret language which can only express itself through eyes for lenses. Subtle, so subtle that you can't even hear the vowels, the letters. What an eye can convey you. 1,000 words which is being conveyed in one glance, in one stare, in one eye. 1,000 words and you are kept out of it. A secret language. Then again, I felt this force to say something, to do something. I felt it. To soothe it, even to soothe this sorrowful fine, to soothe this beautiful woman. This angel which led me up to here, this angel which was hurt. By whom? Hurt by life. Who knows? By plans, by stupidity, whatever you wanted. I wanted to soothe her, but with one. What with what? What can you say there? What can you say? And the only thing I could say, I was just on my way. I was just passing by, on my way. This is how I tried to convey it. I didn't mean anything. An ordinary day, like every day it is. I thought about it. I had to think about it. What day is it today? It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. I assumed I didn't know because I had stopped counting the days in my home. I didn't care about man, days, about sun, days. I had stopped counting the days. It was too oppressive. It was devastating. Every day you cross out on your calendar like you would trying to accomplish a goal, trying to prepare for something extraordinary in your life, and that's why you cross all these days on your calendar like you would be heading for somewhere. But I didn't have somewhere to go. The calendar, the days I would cross out would be devastating. It would be like you cross out day by day and come closer to your death, to your end. And being reminded that you will never escape these walls, these barriers you have put in your head. No, I had stopped counting the days. I only assumed it is Wednesday. And I was just passing by like every day. I was heading somewhere. Heading to turn around, to walk along the same circles my ancestors did. To walk and pass the same roads. Maybe generations of peoples before me did, who had no plan in life, just wanted to pass time, pass by, to go somewhere. Eventually it will become dark and then we will have a reason to go back home or go back somewhere where we assume someone was waiting for us, where we assume life cannot do without us, where we assume that we are needed. Of course, I imagined what it would be like. My home without me wouldn't be the same. Would it be the same anymore? Without me inhabiting it, without me living in it, would it be the same without me? It was just another Wednesday, and she again did not respond, and I felt uncomfortable. I even became vexed, annoyed, because I was left in this muteness again, in this darkness, because I could not break through this silence, these fleeting glances, this exchange of thoughts, one might assume, which goes through eyes. One gaze has thousand meaning. I could not escape this cage, this trap from my youth. I was vexed, I was annoyed. And I wanted to leave. I felt uncomfortable. I felt the same. I got a bad taste in my mouth, the taste of sameness, of unbearable boredom, of sameness, of inevitability, of something I could not avoid, and I tried so hard to escape. And I ended up following the same path many before. Maybe I wasn't extraordinary. Maybe I supposed to think about being a hero, being a warrior, being the one who can escape this vicious circle. Maybe this is what my role was. Maybe someone had to think about it. Maybe someone had to fill the gap, and maybe many people before me, maybe they thought the same. They lost their same. They lost themselves in the same thought as me. Maybe I'm not different than all of them at all. Maybe I'm like the same. I only meant to think of me as different. No. This mundane life circle had a place for me as well. Someone who thinks, who is out of the circle. Someone who thinks, who is independent, but yet is part of it. His mere existence is part of it. An occasion which just appears as independent. I was devastated. I wanted to throw the glass against the wall. I wanted to storm out there. I felt like slept and betrayed of an opportunity to escape, to go away, to go somewhere. It doesn't matter when I just didn't want to go back again, back in my home with deep disappointment. Like a slept boy, like a stupid boy, and dream of stupid dreams that one day when opportunity strikes, then I would leave this comfort zone again. I didn't want it to go back anymore. I have came so far, and now here I was, disappointed, staring in void eyes. Rose's beauty, even how mesmerizing it was, it felt like a page, it felt shallow, like someone who understands more and more. It has no depth. It is something you watch it in a mirror and only can assume how someone might have thought about it who had painted it. And you can never grasp the emotions, the thought which went through the artist while he gazed at the beauty. No, you just stare at it, try to make sense, try to take over this portrait, the picture, this beautiful woman there, try to make it your own, try to incorporate it in your thoughts, in your daily daydreams, in your scenes you play every day to make your life bearable. Just a shallow figure. This is what this all felt, and it was devastating. It was infuriating. And there I couldn't say anything. How could I? I was about to leave. I was about to just turn around disappointed. I want to read, but then Rosa glanced at her mother. Again, a secret message, but I did not care anymore. I didn't want to fathom what they are thinking. I didn't want to fathom what they could probably talk about. I just wanted to drink this water, this stupid water, this tasteless, uninviting water, this boredom of my life. I wanted to drink it all up. And then leave somewhere, leave back, go back, where the hell my feet would drag me. But then, Rosa's mother left the room. And I was speechless again. I was left to wonder again, like they have a special code. I thought that she would come back, that after a while, but she didn't. She just closed the door. And there I was with Rosa alone, and my vexation, my annoyance dissipated. Again, I felt uncomfortable. Again, maybe I said to myself, maybe you have misjudged the situation. Maybe you were too fast in your judgment. And I watched her in awe. I watched that Rosa, something must happen now. Something must. And she stared at me thoughtfully, for a moment thoughtfully. She tried to think about something. At least I thought that she was pondering about something which laid heavy in her mind. But she could not make her mind up. She was ruminating, and she left me wondering too. I was thoughtful. What's next? Again, I tried to search the room, tried to scrutinize every detail. Maybe there I would find answers in this home, in this room. Maybe the chair in front of the window, maybe the unmatched furniture, they randomly put together furniture. Maybe they could tell me what this all was about, what I should think about this moment. But I then saw Rosa again. I glanced at her. She's thoughtful, and then she got up. And she stared at me. She was changed. She was resolute. She stared at me, standing. Her eyes commanding, her hands, her entire body was stiff. She stared at me. And I was just speechless. I didn't know what to say. It did not happen before that a beautiful woman would just stare at me, and I felt uncomfortable because through her eyes, in her eyes, this sadness had partially given away. Her beauty seems to have faltered partially. Her lips, these beautiful lips, which said so, which moved up and down in synchronicity with her voice, they became stiff. She just stared at me resolutely. Her eyes like a wild cat, she wanted to be courageous, at least this is what I thought. And then she put my glass aside, and my heart started beating again. It was throbbing against my chest. The beating was deafening my ears again, and I think I was shaking. I was shaking by this roller coaster of emotions. I didn't know what to think anymore. What was this all about? How did I came here? How did I landed here? And then she took my hand. She stared at me for a while. Then she swiped over my hair and I was shaking. I didn't know what was next and she was swiping. And her touch was soothing. It was soothing my soul. It was like a sweet feather. It was like she swiped over my face, ran down my eyes, I delineate them, tried to, like she would be painting me, like she had in her mind a perfect idea for a portrait, for an image. And with her fingers she gently drove through my face, through my lips, across my lips, touched my nose, my eyes, my eyebrows, like a perfect painter who has to ensure herself that the person this painter is portraying is going to portray, that it has edges, that it has lines, that this face is there, that his skin is smooth. Maybe she was smoothing out the layers of youth, of stupidity. Maybe she was just unfurling my deep desire, and I was burning for every desire. I felt my penis struck against my jeans again. I felt this deep craving, but she was calm again. I saw in her eyes again this sweet pleasure, this joyousness, this nonchalant joy towards life, like she was toying with me, and she just stared at me. She was confident, playful, and coy, and I did not know what to do. I didn't even know what to do with my hands. They just laid on my laps. I tried to cover the erection. I tried to cover my erection. I didn't want to see her. I didn't want it to notice her, how desperate I was for every touch, for the lines she drew in my face, for the days she brushed off my face, for the stupid dreams she brushed off my face, for the youth she brushed off my face. And then at this very moment, she painted onto my face a new me that desires her, that wants her, that wants these lips, that wants these eyes. And her touch, they were beaming through my heart, through my body, through every inch of it. And with both hands, I was grabbing myself on the sofa. I felt like I would lose myself. I felt like I would fall. I felt like I was be standing on a gutter and staring down to the world, to a new city, to something new, and I am high above it all. And then she slowly and gradually approached me. These beautiful, full lips, they were thriving, this sweet flesh. And she approached me closer and closer. And I was almost breathless. I held my breath. I thought of it like a candle. I didn't dare to breathe because I thought that I would extinguish the fire. And she pressed her lips against me, and I was in seventh heaven.
It's finally time to start firing up the grill. From city to shore, Acme is everything you need to prep for this summer season. Download the Acme app to shop for this season's essentials any way you want. Open the Acme app, clip your deals, then order your items online. An experienced Acme associate will carefully select your groceries, bag your order, and bring it right to your car or deliver right to your door. Download the app or visit acmemarkets.com for program details.